Ying Lan shows up to the most important interview of her life with a snapped heel and zero apologies. The job is bodyguard to the chairman of one of the biggest corporations in the country. The moment his lawyer sees her, he's already decided the answer is no. She looks broke. She looks desperate. She doesn't look the part. He's mid-sentence when Ying Lan spins around and throws a punch directly at his face. He stumbles. She catches him before he hits the floor. Then she calmly explains, that was a threat simulation. If a real attacker came that fast, that would be her response time. In a separate room, the chairman is watching the whole thing on a monitor. He waves her through without hesitating. Ying Lan walks out of that building feeling something she hasn't felt in a long time. Hope. It lasts a few hours. The lawyer calls back. Background check flagged a criminal record. When Ying Lan was a teenager, she was accused of stealing sanitary pads worth 10,000 won from a supermarket. 6 months in juvenile detention. Offer pulled. She goes home that night and finds her mother sneaking out of their apartment. Security deposit. Gone. Again. Ying Lan confronts her. 10 years of this. 10 years of the same pattern, the same excuses, the same theft. Her mother's response is a hard slap across the face, and the words that she never wanted to be a mother in the first place. Then she walks away. What the lawyer finds when he digs deeper makes the original story even worse. Ying Lan had actually put the item back. The supermarket owner reported her anyway. She had no money for a settlement. Her mother showed up and told her to just serve the time rather than pay. And the loans. Her mother had taken out multiple loans in Ying Lan's name. Astronomical amounts. And Ying Lan has been working herself into the ground for years paying them back. The chairman already has all of this before the lawyer finishes his report. He also has something else. The security footage from outside the building after Ying Lan's interview. She's standing at the wall venting out loud, cursing her situation, blaming the wall, letting it all out. Then she stops, turns to the wall, and apologizes to it. The chairman picks up the phone and tells the lawyer to reinstate the offer. A person with nothing who still keeps her conscience. That is exactly what he's been looking for. Ying Lan grabs the second chance with both hands. She arrives at the chairman's mansion on time, gets set up in shared staff quarters with another employee named Bang Yong, and immediately gets pulled into a briefing with the lawyer. At the end, she asks casually, how many bodyguards has the chairman gone through? 5. Just this year. The lawyer also warns her, a job this well-paid always has reasons that aren't obvious on the surface. That evening, Ying Lan notices the chairman hasn't touched his dinner. The housekeeper tells her to eat it, finest Korean beef in the country. She takes one bite and spits it straight back out. The housekeeper cannot cook. She goes looking for instant noodles instead, and that's when she notices it. The glass on one of the kitchen cabinet doors. She touches it with her fingertip, and the reflection meets her finger perfectly. No gap. One-way mirror glass. She waits until her roommate is asleep. Goes back to the kitchen. Searches the cabinet. Pinhole camera. Hidden inside. She doesn't panic. She starts moving through the mansion quietly, methodically, room by room. What she doesn't know is that every move she makes is being captured live on the chairman's surveillance monitors upstairs. She finds camera after camera. Then she turns to face one of the lenses directly and holds up a slow, deliberate fist. A warning. In his surveillance room, the chairman allows himself a small smile. This one is different. The next morning, she escorts the chairman to a shareholder meeting where his stepson is presenting a business plan for an instant noodle product line. He's proud of it. The chairman dismantles it in front of everyone. The concept is weak. The numbers don't hold. The shareholders pile on, reminding the chairman that every project his stepson has touched has ended in losses. The chairman reassures them. He built this company from nothing. He will not let it collapse on his watch. Ying Lan does her own research that night. The chairman built a small food company into a massive conglomerate over decades. But his personal life is a different story. Married for 1 year before his wife died in a car accident. A daughter, born before the marriage from a separate relationship, spent 19 years in an orphanage resenting the father who never came for her. Then she died abroad. Official cause. Drug overdose. His current household consists of his late wife's 2 children from her previous relationship, a stepson and a stepdaughter named Shan. Neither share his blood. Not long after, Ying Lan accompanies the chairman to the cemetery to visit his late wife's grave. Shan is already there. The moment she sees Ying Lan, her eyes go cold. At the grave, She doesn't pretend. She picks up the fresh flowers her stepfather placed and throws them away, puts her own down instead, then tells him pointedly, just because their time was short doesn't mean he gets to forget what her mother liked. Outside the cemetery, the chairman's driver pulls Ing-lan aside and gives her the full picture. The stepson is harmless and dim. Sean Ing is neither. She's been quietly managing the household staff for years. Has the housekeeper reporting the chairman's every move back to her. She's terrified that any woman who gets close to her stepfather might threaten her inheritance. She has been watching, planning, waiting, for 20 years. On the ride back, the chairman notices the scars on Ing-lan's wrists. She says simply, someone hit her. Then she turns it back on him. The cameras in the mansion, she already worked out it was him. But she also noticed the bathrooms and changing rooms were clean. No cameras there. That told her something important. He's not doing this out of perversion. He's doing it because someone in that house wants to kill him. The chairman doesn't confirm it. He just tells her to keep looking. The holidays arrive. Most of the staff go home. Ing-lan has nowhere to go. She stays. One evening, the chairman comes down to the kitchen and makes himself instant noodles. Ing-lan is already there. She quietly updates him on the cameras she's found. They sit together, two people with nowhere else to be. Watching her eat, the chairman's mind goes somewhere painful. He thinks about his daughter. She used to sit beside him exactly like this, eating noodles, quiet, content. He doesn't hide it. He tells Ing-lan about the woman he was briefly with years ago. After they separated, she raised the baby alone. After the mother died, the daughter spent 19 years in an orphanage. Every one of those years she hated him. That same night, Sean Ing gets word from the housekeeper that the new bodyguard is still in the mansion. She drives over immediately. Ing-lan hears her coming and hides inside a cabinet. Sean Ing tears through the house. Gets closer and closer. Crammed in the dark, Ing-lan stops breathing. Something buried deep starts rising, a memory from childhood. Her father moving through the house the same way, looking for her, with the same cold intention. Sean Ing doesn't find her. She gives up and leaves. The chairman throws away every piece of food Sean Ing brought to the house. And Ing-lan sits alone in the dark, undone by a memory she thought she'd outrun. Late that night, the chairman calls her to his office. A hidden door opens in the wall. She steps through. A secret room filled with monitors. Every camera in the mansion feeds into this room. He tells her the truth. His daughter didn't die of an overdose. She was murdered. A journalist happened to be near the scene and took photographs. The chairman had them enhanced. And there, in the background of one photo, was Sean Ing. He believes either Sean Ing or her brother arranged the murder to protect the inheritance. He has 6 months left to live. Before he dies, he wants justice. Then he opens the safe. Gold bars. And sitting on top, a diamond ring. He picks it up and holds it out. Marry me. He explains the logic without blinking. If Ing-lan becomes his legal wife, she inherits the majority of his estate. That will enrage Sean Ing and her brother, who have spent decades expecting to claim everything. The rage will make them reckless. And when they come for Ing-lan, which they will, she becomes the witness that puts them in prison forever. He also tells her what Sean Ing said to him at his wife's funeral years ago, that he was nobody, a man who only had a place in the world because he married into the family. Ing-lan picks up the ring and hands it straight back. She goes to her room and starts packing. Then her phone rings. Her mother, asking for money. She stands in the middle of the room for a long moment. Then she turns around, walks back to the secret room, and puts the ring on her finger. Next morning, she slips a laxative into the driver's coffee. When he's doubled over in the bathroom, she takes the wheel. She drives the chairman to the city registry office. Qian-lu, the lawyer, is already waiting outside. Under his witness, Ing-lan and the chairman sign the marriage certificate. Done. Qian-lu lays out the terms. 3 months from now, the company holds a shareholder meeting to elect a new chairman. Ing-lan must be present and cast the decisive vote, blocking Sean Ing and her brother from taking control of the company their stepfather built. After that, the full inheritance is hers. The chairman also states clearly, he has decided to pursue assisted dying. When the time comes, Ing-lan will be the one to administer it. She agrees, signs without hesitating. But the marriage stays secret. For now, only the 3 of them know. The chairman knows it won't stay that way. The moment Sean Ing finds out, she will come for Ing-lan. So he gives her a window. 3 months in Wuchang, a small rural village. Qianlu's hometown. Tight-knit community where outsiders stand out, but loyalty runs deep. Qianlu has already built a cover identity. She will arrive as Fu Shimi, kindergarten teacher from Seoul. Clean resume, clean name, clean history. Before leaving the mansion, Inglan crosses paths with a man making a delivery. A strawberry farmer. He comes every 2 weeks with fresh produce for the chairman. Qianlu mentions him briefly. Total background character. Nobody important. Don't worry about him. Inglan doesn't think much of it. Back in the main house, something goes wrong with the chairman. She rushes to his room and finds him collapsed on the floor. Gets him to the hospital immediately. The doctor pulls her aside. His condition has deteriorated significantly. He may not survive the full 3 months. Outside the room, a nurse is listening. She walks straight to her phone and calls Shanning. Shanning absorbs the information in seconds. Terminal cancer. 3 months at most. She calls a journalist. Plays the devastated daughter perfectly. Voice breaking. Tears on command. Leaks her stepfather's diagnosis to the press. The moment she hangs up, her brother starts clapping. He's already counting the days until he can sit in the chairman's chair. Shan Ying's expression matches his exactly. 20 years of waiting. They are almost there. The chairman is discharged and comes home. That night, he tells Inglan. He wants to move forward with the assisted dying tonight. The pain of treatment is something he will no longer carry. She goes to the doctor, gets the medication, brings it to his room. He asks for one last thing before she administers it. Give me a bowl of noodles. I want to eat one last time. She goes to the kitchen. The housekeeper is cooking. She waits. Then a gunshot. One clean sound, cutting through everything. She drops the bowl and runs. Pushes the bedroom door open. The chairman is on the floor. The gun still in his hand. He made the choice himself. Inglan stands over him and the whole plan. The agreement, the contract, the future she signed her name to, feels like it's dissolving under her feet. Qianlu arrives and handles everything before dawn. When the police remove the body, Inglan is left alone in the room. She doesn't understand why he changed the plan. Qianlu thinks for a moment, then says, it might have been his way of trusting her, protecting her from having to carry that weight herself. The funeral comes quickly. Shan Ying and her brother arrive dressed in grief. 2 people who have been rehearsing this moment for decades. Then they walk through the doors and see Inglan sitting at the front, in mourning clothes, wearing their mother's ring. The brother explodes immediately, screaming, demanding she take it off. Shan Ying doesn't raise her voice. She walks forward slowly, studies Inglan the way a predator studies something it hasn't decided how to kill yet. This thing, that is what she calls her. Inglan doesn't move, doesn't flinch. Qianlu steps forward and formally announces what has already been legally registered, the chairman's wife. Documented, binding, unbreakable. The inheritance belongs to her. The trap the dying man spent his last months building snaps shut. That same night, the mansion staff make their move. The housekeeper drugs Inglan's coffee. The driver comes up behind her with a baseball bat. She throws the coffee in the housekeeper's face, drops the driver in seconds, then walks out of the gate and doesn't look back. At the airport the next morning, Inglan meets Qianlu in a bathroom. New ID, new credit cards, new name. From this moment, she is Fu Shimi, kindergarten teacher, originally from Seoul. Nothing special, nothing worth looking at twice. She changes her clothes, disappears into the crowd, boards the subway, then a 4-hour bus to Wuchang. When she steps off at the Wuchang terminal, a message is already waiting. The kindergarten principal's cousin is coming to pick her up. The cousin arrives. Inglan looks up. It's the strawberry farmer. The background character Qianlu said was nobody important. She keeps her sunglasses on the entire ride. Says as little as possible. His name is Dongmin. He notices her immediately. Can't quite place where he's seen her before. He drops her at a farmhouse deep in the village. This is her home for the next 3 months. He is her landlord. He can't stop wondering. A woman with good clothes, good posture, the air of someone used to better things. Why would someone like that come all the way to a forgotten village like Wuchang to teach kindergarten? Inglan doesn't explain. She deflects every question and keeps every door closed. The more she pulls away, the more suspicious he becomes. Word gets back to Dongmin's circle. A journalist has broken the story. The chairman married a female bodyguard 40 years his junior. The new wife's face is blurred in every photo. Dongmin stares at the article. Still can't place it. Back at the farmhouse that night, Inglan opens her suitcase carefully. Underneath the clothes, a box. Inside, a handgun. Dozens of rounds. The chairman gave it to her before she left. Not for self-defense. For revenge. If she finds the person who killed his daughter, she uses it. She agreed. But on her own terms. If she pulls that trigger, the inheritance covers her legal fees. Maximum 5 years. Then she disappears abroad and rebuilds from zero. 5 years for a lifetime of freedom. She considered it a reasonable price. Back in Seoul, Shaning sits down with lawyers. The plan. Dig up Inglan's teenage criminal record, amplify it, paint the chairman as a man who lost his mind in his final months and was manipulated by a scheming gold digger. File for marriage annulment. And if that's not enough, pin his death on her. Her brother goes further. He contacts a criminal organization and pays them to find Inglan and eliminate her. Qian-Lu is also moving. She has someone watching Inglan's mother, who has been working at a factory under a false name. Because the one thing that could blow up the entire plan is that woman finding out where her daughter is hiding. She fires the housekeeper and driver from the mansion for what they attempted. The two of them take their severance and walk straight to Shaning. Qian-Lu moves into the mansion herself. Only Bang Yong remains. Bang Yong keeps asking where Inglan went. Qian-Lu tells her nothing. In Wuchang, the villagers hold a secret meeting at the local supermarket. They've been burned before. Teachers come, take developer money, and disappear. The kindergarten is being deliberately starved of resources by people who want the land it sits on. Dong Min speaks first. He tells everyone, don't trust appearances. This woman seems too polished for a place like this. Watch her carefully. While they're still debating, Inglan walks in to buy instant noodles. Every head turns. She grabs her noodles and goes to pay. The villagers find out she hasn't eaten dinner yet. Every eye in the room turns to Dong Min. He explains, meals were supposed to be included in her rent. Nobody says anything to his face. But the moment she's gone, they turn on each other. They cannot lose another teacher. Especially not one with a Seoul University degree. Their children deserve better than a 2-hour bus ride to school every morning. Decision, they will look after her quietly. Without her knowing, Dong Min catches up to Inglan on the road and offers to carry her bags. She refuses without breaking stride. She already knows about him. Qian-Lu briefed her before she left. Warm, community-rooted, and when he loses his temper, nobody in the village dares cross him. Stay away from this one. Back at the farmhouse, she's about to settle in when she hears something move in the living room. Every instinct sharpens. She moves toward the sound. A tent in the living room. And crawling out of it, a small boy. He introduces himself confidently. He knows she's the new teacher. His dad told him not to like her too much. Dong Min's voice comes from outside before she can respond. He scolds the boy gently for wandering in uninvited. The boy, Xiao Yuan, hands Inglan a container of kimchi from his house before he goes. Smart kid. Reads the room. Already on her side. That night, Inglan goes online and orders surveillance equipment. She needs cameras. She needs eyes on every corner of this village before anyone figures out who she really is. Next morning, classes start. She stands in front of the mirror and practices. From this moment, she has to be Fu Shimi. Not just carry the name, be the person completely. At the school, the principal reviews her carefully constructed resume and asks why she chose to come to Wuchang. Qian-Lu had prepared a perfect answer for exactly this question. Inglan delivers it without a stumble. The principal is almost convinced, but she's already making calls. She contacts the university on the resume. A woman answers, middle-aged, children in the background. The real Fushimi. A completely different person. Then she calls the previous kindergarten. They confirm. Yes, Shimi left last month. Everything checks out. The principal relaxes. Until the call ends, and she hears the previous kindergarten employee mutter to someone nearby. 100,000 won just to say a few words on the phone. They were paid to lie. The principal turns around. Inglan is already standing in the doorway. She heard everything. She doesn't run. She calls Qian-Lu directly. Right there, right now, in front of the principal. Forces the truth into the open. Qian-Lu confirms to her sister. Yes. This is the chairman's wife. It's real. Inglan makes the offer. Keep the secret for 3 months. In return, when this is over, every financial problem this school has disappears permanently. The principal looks at the kindergarten she's spent years trying to protect. She agrees. From that moment, she calls Inglan Madam. That word slips out at exactly the wrong moment. Dong Min is right outside the door. The principal recovers fast, grabs her phone, and loudly calls someone from the local church, addressing her as Madam right in front of him. Dong Min doesn't buy it. He lingers outside, listening. Ing Lan spots him through the window. He leaves, embarrassed. Later, Ing Lan and the principal settle the full agreement. 3 months of silence. No slipping on names or titles. No questions about what she's really doing here. In return, the school gets saved. Then the principal asks one genuine question. What is your real background? Ing Lan doesn't hide it. She tells her everything. The theft accusation as a teenager. The juvenile detention. Her mother's loans in her name. All of it. The principal listens without judgment. 8 o'clock. The children arrive. Her class is called the Strawberry Class. For her 5 small faces staring up at her, waiting. Ing Lan has no idea how to teach. Within 60 seconds the children are fighting over toys, and it's heading toward a full brawl. She looks around the room, grabs some foam mats from the corner, stacks them, and splits them with her bare fist. Dead silence. Good enough. She starts teaching them self-defense basics. First lesson, scream as loudly as possible when you're in danger. For kindergartners, fill the room with the most piercing noise imaginable. Second lesson, how to distract an attacker using whatever surrounds you. She grabs the class's inflatable dinosaur, holds it up as a demonstration target, and punches a hole straight through it. The dinosaur deflates in her hands. The children burst into tears. Dong Min hears the chaos and rushes in. He surveys the scene, sobbing children, a dead dinosaur, a woman who looks completely unbothered. He tells her straight, teaching kindergartners self-defense on day 1 is not normal. And whatever happened in her life that made her think it was appropriate probably explains why she ended up in Wuchang. Ing Lan responds calmly. He's overstepping. He tells her he's also the school's PE teacher, and he'll be watching her closely. After he leaves, Ing Lan picks the deflated dinosaur off the floor. She gets the new supplies she bought that afternoon, inflates it again, and covers the puncture hole with a bandage sticker. On the sticker, in careful handwriting, 3 words. I'm sorry. A dinosaur. Not even a person. And she still apologizes. The Village Women's Association president, Jun's mom, drives to pick Ing Lan up after class. She wants to take her to a welcome dinner. Asks what food she likes. Ing Lan answers honestly, premium Korean beef. Wild abalone. Everything she saw on the chairman's table that she was never allowed to touch. Then she notices Jun's mom is on a call. Every word just went somewhere else. The whole village is coordinating. Ing Lan gets out of the car and politely declines. Tells her, students' parents buying teachers gifts or meals is against regulations. Back at the farmhouse that evening, Dong Min quietly sets aside a portion of dinner for Ing Lan. Xiao Yuan reads out the parent group chat. They're already discussing the new teacher. Some suspicious, some hopeful. Ing Lan has been in Wuchang less than 48 hours, and she's already read every person in it. That night she calls Qian Lu. The villagers are asking questions. It won't be long before someone digs too deep. Qian Lu delivers the next piece of bad news. Shanning has already reported Ing Lan as a missing person to the police. Time is tightening on every side. Qian Lu's warning lands heavy. Shanning has filed a missing person report. The police are now officially looking for Ing Lan, which means one thing. Ing Lan cannot afford to stay distant from the villagers anymore. If someone in Wuchang starts asking the wrong questions and the wrong person hears the answer, everything collapses. She has to make them trust her. Not because she wants to, because she has no choice. That night, Ing Lan makes a private decision. 3 months. Then I'm gone. I will not get attached to any of this. The next morning she wakes up early, watches makeup tutorial videos on her phone, and carefully applies a full face. Then she flags down Jun's mom and tells her she's changed her mind about the welcome dinner. Actually, she wants to host it herself. At the farmhouse, Jun's mom gets on the village broadcast system within minutes. Everyone is coming. To prepare for the gathering, Dong Min gets dragged to the supermarket by the kindergarten principal, his cousin, to help buy supplies. Then she puts him to work carrying cases of Korean rice, wine into the farmhouse fridge. While he's inside, Ing Lan suddenly realizes her laptop is sitting open on the table. The screen is showing her surveillance feed. Cameras. Live footage. Her entire monitoring operation exposed. She moves fast, crosses the room, and gets directly in front of Dong Min, standing close enough to make him uncomfortable, using her body to block his view while she reaches behind her and quietly shuts the laptop. Dongmin's face goes red. He thinks she's making a move on him. His heart is pounding.